pretty steadily now. It's about 1 o'clock, 1:30 Sunday afternoon, and I'm going to go for a wander over Wanstead Flats. Perfect place in the snow. Just seen a Central Line train actually going along, but the Central Line's been severely disrupted by the snow because obviously a lot of it is above ground. Wanstead Flats, snowy Wanstead Flats. This is the avenue that was once the entrance to Wanstead House, coming in from the main road through Leytonstone. I'm trying to remember the name of the gardener who landscaped this and the date, and I will put it on the screen now. Look, it's a field of snowmen. There's snowmen everywhere and the remains of them. Of course, these are football pitches, so they would have been covered with people playing football, and that they're covered with snowmen. That's hilarious. No football today. What a bunch of lightweights. In my day, the birds have been grounded. And there the iconic Fred Wigg and John Walsh Towers. I don't know, the council are planning to build a third block between the two of them, a private one of luxury apartments. Massive snowball fight over there. So when my kids were little, I couldn't really go gallivanting off for an entire day. This is a walk I would do pretty much every weekend, really. Do a lap of Wanstead Flats and then have a quick pint on the way home. And since I've been venturing further afield, you know, I don't usually do that anymore because I'm usually pushing out further. But every time it snowed heavily, I kind of would come over here. It's utterly transformed in the snow, like everywhere is really, I suppose, isn't it? So this area here is roughly the site, I think, of the Italian POW camp in the Second World War. I made another video which is a bit more sort of detailed on Wanstead Flats, and this will be today. Talk a bit about that. There's also a pamphlet published by the local History Society, I think written by David Boot, the wonderful David Boot, that is specifically about the Italian POW camp here. And again, mentioned in the previous video, Wanstead Flats has a kind of quite a long sort of military history in a way. I think it was a parade ground at some point in the 18th century. Troops were lined up here. I think there were military displays here. And then it was used quite extensively in the Second World War as a POW camp. There were barrage balloons over here on the other side, the far side. And there were anti-aircraft guns as well. Because the German planes, this was on their bombing run into the docks. And then also on the far side as well, there is, as I discussed before, is a nuclear bunker, which I think is still there. Someone got in touch with me recently, I think Mr. Barton, about that issue. So if anyone knows anything about that, if you've ever been down into it, because I think now it's just data storage, like a lot of them. But I think it was the Redbridge Borough nuclear bunker. I think this here is actually the POW camp. I can never remember that saying about rooks and crows, is it? A rook on its own is a crow, and a crow in a crowd is a rook. Something like that. There's a variation of that in the Essex Serpent, an incredible book by Sarah Perry that I highly recommend. This is the main part of Wanstead Flats, really. It's the biggest section. It's where you've got the Barrage balloon posts. And there's a lovely big pond on the far side, which often freezes in the cold weather. So I'm going to head over there. I've not been to that big pond on the far side for quite a while, for a good couple of years, I think. So fingerless gloves really do work. I was a bit dubious when I bought these from Dennis's corner shop this morning, but so far I kept my hands nice and warm. So from memory over here we have the Barrage balloon posts that used to tether the Barrage balloons over Wanstead Flats to catch the German bombers on their way in their bombing run to the docks. So here's one of the Barrage balloon posts. I think there's 3 in total. And somewhere over there near the church spire, see the church spire there. In that general direction was you can still see the concrete foundation of the anti-aircraft guns. It's in the middle of a wood, and I found it one night quite late in the evening, and there seems to be a lot of other men lurking around in the trees there. So I just thought there were lots of other kind of sort of psychogeographers and deep topographers. Turns out to be quite a popular gay cruising spot. Of course, the other thing that Wanstead Flats is actually quite well known for and quite popular for is bird watching. You get a lot of bird watchers over here in the summer particularly, and you get guys with very long lens cameras here, so I think there must be some fairly interesting bird species that visit Wanstead Flats or certainly fly over it. There's a really good map on the internet actually that shows you all the bird spotting locations and where to see what. Here's another one of the Barrage balloon posts. This one's a bit bent, isn't it? Here's another of the Barrage balloon posts. I think actually there might be 4 because I can see another one over by the trees. You can see this one's got the extra supports that the other ones have lost over the years since the Second World War. In lieu of the Barrage balloons, here are some party balloons brought to earth by the snow. Excellent. Some actual sledging there. Yeah, so here, the lake here is frozen in parts. You can see there where the birds are lined up on the ice. I think this lake here, over near Aldersbrook, was actually dug as part of a kind of labour relief project in the early part of the 20th century when there was a lot of unemployment. It's funny, I've not been here specifically for a good couple of years. In fact, I think it might have been snowing the last time I came here. It's funny, isn't it? Even though you walk in an area a lot, sometimes there's little pockets and patches that you overlook. I think this bit here is completely frozen. I'll just see if I can throw this stone out there. Oh, it's actually quite slushy, not quite frozen yet. Temperature's dropped a couple of degrees as it's getting nearer towards sunset. It's really quite cold now. It wasn't too bad earlier, but now he's starting to feel it. And now the long trudge home in the snow all the way across Wanstead Flats. Just the last little bit of Wanstead Flats now, and I'm going to cross over, walk through Bushwood and plonk myself down in a cafe and have a coffee and a sandwich, I think. Thanks for coming with me on this little winter wander around Wanstead Flats. I wonder what the weather will be like next time I see you.